Women are masters of keeping secrets, not because we want to deceive, but because society has trained us to be perfect, polished, and predictable. From a young age, we're told to be good girls, to keep our feelings under control, to appear composed no matter what storms are raging inside. But beneath the surface, there's a world of hidden cravings, quiet indulgences, and guilty pleasures we would never admit to out loud. And here's the thing, these guilty pleasures aren't just random quirks. They reveal something deeper about how women think, what we long for, and the small rebellions we commit in a world that demands perfection. Every woman has them. Some are harmless, some are a little daring, and some would shock the people closest to us if they ever found out. But all of them share one thing in common. We hide them, guard them, and secretly enjoy the thrill of keeping them tucked away. Today, we're peeling back the curtain. We're exposing the guilty pleasures women hide and why we keep them in the dark. You might laugh, you might blush, but one thing is certain. Once you hear them, you'll never look at women the same way again. Guilty pleasure. Number 1, the secret world of social media spying. Let's start with one of the most common yet least admitted pleasures. A woman can look you in the eye and swear she doesn't care, swear she's moved on, swear she's far too confident and mature to waste her time scrolling through someone's online life. And yet, when the lights are out and no one is watching, her fingers can't resist. She types in a name, she clicks on a profile, and suddenly she's 10 pages deep into a stranger's Instagram feed. Maybe it's an ex, maybe it's her ex's new partner, maybe it's a coworker who pretends not to notice her, or even an old friend who quietly disappeared from her life. Whatever the target, the act itself carries a delicious sense of danger. It feels like holding a diary that was never meant to be read. Each photo, each caption, each like becomes a puzzle piece in a story she's reconstructing in her head. And the guilt? It comes from the fact that she knows it's intrusive, she knows it's unnecessary, and yet she can't stop. But here's the hidden truth. This guilty pleasure isn't really about the person she's stalking. It's about control, about feeding curiosity in a world that rarely gives women honest answers. And more than that, it's about the thrill of knowing something forbidden. She hides it because it would sound obsessive if she admitted it. But the truth? Almost every woman has done it at least once, and many do it far more than they'd ever confess. Guilty pleasure number 2, fantasies of revenge, without ever lifting a finger. On the outside, she's calm, she's forgiving. She smiles and shrugs, telling the world she's moved on. But on the inside, she's running a private cinema, replaying a scene where she gets the perfect revenge. No screaming, no chaos, just quiet, devastating justice. Maybe she imagines walking into a room looking flawless, while the ex who broke her heart stumbles over his words. Maybe she pictures the toxic friend who betrayed her suddenly realizing what they lost. Maybe it's an old boss who underestimated her. And in her mind, she's already picturing the day he sees her succeed without him. It's not about cruelty. It's not even about hurting anyone. It's about power. The power she doesn't always get to show in real life. Women are expected to be the bigger person, to stay graceful, to keep their emotions locked behind a polite smile. So the guilty pleasure becomes fantasy, a secret space where she allows herself to imagine winning. Why does she hide it? Because if she admitted it, people would call her petty or vindictive. But the reality is, these small, harmless daydreams are like therapy. They give her strength when she feels powerless. They remind her that she deserves better. And sometimes, they're the only thing that gets her through the night. Guilty pleasure number 3, the thrill of drama. Peace is comfortable, it's safe, it's predictable. And yet, for many women, there's a guilty pleasure in chaos, in drama, in the rush of emotions that sweep through like a wildfire. On the surface, she might say she wants stability, a calm life, a steady love, but deep inside, she craves the fire, the emotional roller coaster that makes her pulse race, her heart pound, her mind spin with excitement. It's not about hurting anyone or creating conflict for the sake of it. It's about feeling alive in ways calm never allows. Drama is a test, a private experiment in how she interacts with the world and how others react to her intensity. Sometimes she stirs the waters just to see if he notices. Sometimes she challenges, teases, or pushes boundaries. And when the storm passes, the sense of relief, connection, or even triumph is intoxicating. Why hide this guilty pleasure? Because admitting she enjoys chaos could make her appear unstable, unpredictable, or difficult. Society teaches women to value harmony and avoid conflict. But secretly, drama fuels passion. It reminds her she can feel everything deeply, and that intensity is part of who she is. Guilty pleasure number 4. Weakness for men who walk away. Nothing triggers a secret thrill like the man who knows his own worth. The one who can walk away without panic. The one who doesn't chase, beg, or plead. This isn't about arrogance or cruelty. It's about self-respect. Women are wired to value what they perceive as scarce or unattainable. When a man calmly walks away, showing that he doesn't need her but chooses to return, it ignites a powerful, almost primal craving. Most men react the opposite way. They pursue, they over-explain, they demonstrate dependency. But the man who walks away, he flips the dynamic entirely. Suddenly, she is drawn in, curious, and willing to chase. That tension between desire and restraint is a guilty pleasure unlike any other. Why do women hide it? Because admitting she is thrilled by a man's indifference could make her seem manipulative, superficial, or vulnerable. Yet the truth remains. The pull of the untouchable, self-possessed man is irresistible. It's a quiet addiction that shapes attraction in ways few ever articulate. Guilty pleasure number 5. The allure of male power. It's subtle, almost invisible, but every woman notices it. The way a man carries himself, the confidence in his posture, the quiet authority in his voice. These things speak louder than words. Women claim they don't care about dominance, that they value equality, that power is irrelevant. But deep down, the guilty pleasure is real. The attraction to someone who radiates influence without trying. Not wealth, not fame, not a title, just presence. The man who walks into a room and commands it without effort is magnetic. His restraint, his calm, his subtle control create an unspoken tension. Women can't resist it, even if they try to rationalize it. They compare, they analyze, and they remember every glance, every slight movement. Why keep it secret? Because in modern society, admitting an attraction to raw power feels primitive, shallow, or outdated. Yet this guilty pleasure persists. It's not about submission, it's about fascination. It's about recognizing strength and being quietly drawn to it. That invisible pull, that magnetic energy, is irresistible. By now, you can see a pattern. Women's guilty pleasures often revolve around control, intensity, and restraint, things they rarely admit. From seeking emotional drama to secretly craving the untouchable man, from the thrill of power to fascination with quiet dominance, these indulgences are deeply personal yet universal. They're hidden because society demands composure, predictability, and loyalty. And yet, these secret cravings shape behavior, attraction, and desire in ways most men will never notice. Guilty pleasure number 6. Addiction to mystery. Predictability is the enemy of desire. When a man is completely readable, his words, actions, and timing all transparent, the thrill of curiosity disappears. Women crave mystery. The unreadable, the enigmatic, the man who reveals himself slowly, layer by layer. It's not about playing games. It's about fueling the imagination. Every unanswered text, every delayed response, every subtle hesitation becomes a spark. She wonders, what is he thinking? Does he truly want me? Why does he remain calm when others would falter? This craving is addictive because it triggers the chase instinct. The unknown excites the mind and inflames desire in ways certainty never can. A man who reveals everything too soon loses the tension. The puzzle disappears, and with it, the intoxicating pull that keeps her hooked. Women hide this guilty pleasure because it feels manipulative to admit it. To say that a little uncertainty makes her more drawn is taboo, almost cruel. And yet, it is the truth. Curiosity fuels obsession, and mystery fuels passion. Guilty pleasure number 7, testing men for fun. Yes, women test. Some admit it, most do not. And sometimes it's not about insecurity, jealousy, or manipulation. It's about sheer enjoyment. Testing is a way to observe, to measure, and to play. It reveals strength, character, and composure in a man in ways words never could. Will he crumble under pressure or remain calm? Will he react defensively or with grace? Every small test, a teasing comment, a delayed response, a challenge, is a probe into his essence. Here's the secret: it's intoxicating. Watching a man navigate her subtle provocations gives a rush of control. Not domination, but insight. And women admire the ones who pass these silent tests, those who remain steady, confident, and unshaken. Why hide this guilty pleasure? Because acknowledging it makes her appear calculating, but in truth, it's instinctual. Testing is a tool, a thrill, and yes, a guilty indulgence that she enjoys privately, often without even realizing it. Guilty pleasure number 8: admiration of self-control. There's nothing more magnetic than a man who wants her but doesn't chase recklessly. A man who resists immediate gratification, who exercises restraint, who chooses when and how to engage. This is the ultimate guilty pleasure. Why is self-control so compelling? Because it flips the power dynamic. Most men are too eager, too reactive, too willing to give themselves away. But the man who holds back creates tension, curiosity, and longing. Every glance, every subtle signal becomes electric. Every moment of restraint feels like a promise, a tease, a challenge. This pleasure is hidden because admitting it makes women feel vulnerable. To confess attraction to discipline over desire sounds weak, but secretly, it's irresistible. A man who could have her any time but chooses restraint becomes a puzzle she can't stop thinking about. Scarcity, choice, and self-control amplify desire in ways no rush ever could. By now, a clear pattern emerges. Women's guilty pleasures revolve around mystery, control, and tension. From addiction to unreadable men, to playful testing, to reverence for restraint and self-control. These are the hidden triggers of desire. They remain secret because acknowledging them exposes vulnerability, contradicts societal expectations, and highlights the raw, primal nature of attraction. Yet these indulgences exist, quietly guiding behavior, shaping choices, and igniting longing. Guilty pleasure number 9: forbidden imaginations. Every woman has a private world that no one sees. Not her best friend, not her diary, not social media. These are the fantasies she would never confess aloud, the scenarios that exist purely in her mind. Some are romantic, some wildly adventurous, some even dangerous. Some involve surrender, control, or desire for power. Others center around a man she should never want, or situations she'd never allow in real life. And yet, they make her feel alive in ways reality cannot. Why do women hide this guilty pleasure? Because admitting it risks judgment, shame, or misinterpretation. Yet, in these daydreams, women experience freedom, unbounded, limitless, and intoxicating. Every imagined moment is flawless, every emotion heightened, every boundary tested safely in the mind. These private fantasies are more than escapism. They are a safe place to explore desire, curiosity, and intensity. Reality has rules, imagination has none. That is the secret of this guilty pleasure. It is untouchable, permanent, and thrilling in its infinite possibilities. Guilty pleasure number 10: the allure of being ignored. There's a subtle, almost paradoxical pleasure in being ignored, at least at first. Most women will never admit this out loud. The sting of being overlooked, when attention is withheld just slightly, sparks curiosity, intrigue, and a longing for connection. Why does this work? Because humans naturally value what is scarce. Attention that comes too easily feels cheap. Attention that must be earned feels precious. When a man holds back, remains calm, and lets her lean in, her desire intensifies. This guilty pleasure is dangerous because it is counterintuitive. Women crave attention, yet their craving deepens when it is withheld intelligently. The balance is subtle. Ignore too much and she disengages. Give too much and the excitement vanishes. But when done right, it pulls her in, triggers her imagination, and makes her feel the thrill of the chase without her realizing it. The hidden map of female desire. By now, the patterns are clear. Women's guilty pleasures, the secret cravings hidden beneath smiles, routines, and societal expectations, reveal the hidden map of female desire, objectification, the rush of being noticed by the right man. Forbidden fantasies, the thrill of imagining what is out of reach. Drama, the pulse of chaos that makes life feel alive. Men who walk away, the magnetic allure of a man who holds himself above neediness. Power displays, the silent pull toward confidence and presence. Mystery, the irresistible draw of the unreadable man. Testing, the playful probe that reveals character. Self-control, the tension and longing created by restraint. Forbidden imagination, the private worlds that awaken desires safely. Being ignored, the subtle sting that amplifies curiosity and craving. These pleasures are addictive, secretive, and intoxicating, and they guide behavior in subtle but undeniable ways. They explain why women sometimes act unpredictably, chase, withdraw, or test men. They expose a primal, emotional, and deeply physical part of desire that society prefers to ignore. The paradox. Here's the paradox. The very things women hide, the cravings, the fantasies, the games, the fire, are what make attraction irresistible. The forbidden, the unknown, the self-controlled, and the tested are more potent than any overt affection. Understanding these pleasures doesn't make women manipulative or shallow. It reveals that attraction is a delicate dance, a combination of mystery, desire, tension, and connection. And if a man can navigate these secret desires thoughtfully, he becomes unforgettable. Women don't just want to be loved, they want to be tempted, challenged, and desired in ways that speak to every hidden layer of their longing. These guilty pleasures are the invisible currents beneath the calm surface, shaping the way women love, chase, and crave. Closing thoughts. Now you know the secrets women rarely speak aloud. You understand the power of objectification, fantasy, drama, mystery, and restraint. You see why women test, why they chase what they shouldn't, why they crave tension and subtle control. These guilty pleasures are not weaknesses. They are signals of what drives desire, passion, and fascination. And once you recognize them, you cannot unsee them. You cannot unknow the map of female attraction, the hidden codes that guide longing, curiosity, and connection. So the next time you notice her pull away, test you, or lean into your restraint, remember, she is not unpredictable, she is human. She is responding to her secret pleasures. And if you honor that, if you navigate it wisely, you become a man she cannot forget. Because ultimately, guilty pleasures are the keys to the heart, the secret desires we indulge in silence, the hidden fires that define who we are, and the mysterious truths that make women crave, chase, and fall in ways the world will never fully understand. Now you know the hidden world of women's guilty pleasures, the desires we hide, the cravings we bury, the fantasies we replay in silence. They are not random. They reveal the deep currents of attraction, the sparks that make us chase, pull back, and fall in ways the world rarely sees. These pleasures, objectification, forbidden fantasies, drama, magnetic restraint, mystery, testing, self-control, and subtle tension, define female desire. They are the invisible rules of the game, shaping the way women think, feel, and react. And here's the truth. Once you understand these guilty pleasures, you will never see a woman the same way again. You will see the fire beneath the calm, the thrill behind the smiles, and the secret map guiding her heart. If you've felt the pull of these secrets, if you've discovered the invisible currents that drive desire, then don't stop here. Subscribe now to dive even deeper into the female mind. There are more truths, more confessions, and more hidden desires waiting to be revealed. Secrets that will change the way you understand attraction forever. Remember, women don't just want to be loved. We want to be tempted, challenged, and truly understood. And now you know the map. Subscribe and stay tuned. The journey into the hidden world of desire has only just begun.